Konnichiwa minasan. It is September 1st, 2014, and I'm in the wonderful town of Dracut, Massachusetts. I'm here at A. Dracut Self-Storage. As you can see, there's my car, my wonderful license plate with my chosen name on it. And I can show you one of the units I rent. I rent two of them. This one over here, it's open, it's got some of my stuff in it. Oops, I lost some height. There you go. We'll turn it back this way. I forgot to bring my holder for my cell phone, so it's home. I crushed the other one just the other night when I made my last video out there in the parking lot, which was horrible. And it made a terrible crunching noise, and I was like, oh! So I had to go back and get another one, and instead of getting a black one, they only had two colors, so I couldn't get a black one. They had blue, and they have purple. And the purple was kind of dark, and I kind of swing for purple, but the blue was like a bright turquoise, kind of marine blue, so I liked that very much. And I did that. Had to pick up a few other things. Went to the Walmart, did all over there. Most of it's stuff that I need, but you know, nowadays that I'm a little more monetarily well endowed, I could get extra things if I wanted to. I'm just trying to tell myself not to do that. Put money away. So I'm renting storage. This is a good thing, and I rent another unit down that way which has most of my stuff. This stuff is good stuff that I'm taking out of my unit, putting it away, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be throwing out, so that's my deal with that one. Let me try to see if I can get this down. But yeah, things are pretty good. I did have about a depression towards the end of, well, right about somewhere in the middle to the end of last week. So I did that. I did the ALS ice bucket challenge, which is pretty cool. But when you do stuff like that and you're going to make videos, you kind of have to plan it ahead of time. And you kind of decide, well, how is this bucket going to fall, and I'm going to make sure that this is safe, and is it going to come well in one shot, which is you kind of cross your fingers and hope it does. And you got to call out people, who you're going to call out, blah, 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 blah. Vlogging can be a lot of work, folks. It's really not that bad, but you know, when you plan things and you like to do it, you kind of get more into the technology and find out what's involved with it. It does make things a little more consuming. You can almost consider it to be a hobby. So I like the people that I see out on YouTube that are out in California. They can be very inspiring, but they can also be a little bit, how would I describe? Starstruck, I suppose is the best way. When I get that movie and when I become a big star, it kind of makes you think a little bit about that, you know, and you got like a cajillion of them over there. I would have wanted to move out there when I got my degree, and I got a professional job over here, and I was probably like a year or two in of working that job, and I said, you know, I got the idea of doing that, you know, I might want to move out around the Los Angeles area. One, the weather's really nice, and two, you're next to a really great city. Three, there's an issue with air quality. I'm not too crazy about that. Makes me think. But the other thing is, four, the unexpected. The unexpected is that things are very expensive out there from what I hear, and it's just a whole different place. I think the only thing I could relate from experience is probably New York City, and I've been there twice. I've driven in there with a friend of mine, and the second time I rode in the first time in his car, and the second time we drove in my car, and I drove. I was behind the wheel, driving in this crazy place called Midtown Manhattan. So make sure you wear your seatbelt and lock the doors. I'm not saying it's a crime-ridden place, but you know, you just can never tell what's going to happen. So New York's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful city. I like it. I've been working with this thing lately. I have this neat old camcorder of mine. I like it. I also get the extra light, and there's an extra arm here to hold the light. It bolts right on underneath, which is really cool. But I was using this today, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take some time just out of my vacation just to do stuff to kind of de-stress a little bit. And I wanted to pick up a few things, you know, wanted to pick up a parking lot section of town that they were redoing, and it looks entirely different from what it did before. And I also wanted to go and pick up one of my nature places on camera and do that. But when you find you use this kind of thing, you're like, you got all this freedom because you know you can edit it. But I'm used to doing vlogs where things are picking up automatically in the RAW because that's the only way that I can do them right now. And this thing like shakes. You got a strap on there, which is really cool, you know, but it shakes when you do stuff. And you don't always get the picture as clear as you might want it to be. So it's a matter for us to try to get a nice image. Now I got a tripod and I got the idea, so let me use that a little bit and try to make that happen. This is really cool the way it's set up. I mean, you can go and you can look at people, like I'm picking up the video right here, right now, you know, looking at it on my smartphone. You can also flip this thing, it's a modern technology thing, you can do a selfie. So I'm picking up two selfies right now, one on the camera and one else on the smartphone. And lighting is very, very important. I got this, which is a light, and you can adjust it for the intensity. It's the same price as one of the others. Oh, it's getting brighter now. It's the same price as, there you go. You don't want to look at it directly. It's the same price as the other one that doesn't adjust, which is really cool. But you gotta have this stuff. I mean, I'm up at night and, you know, so just learning how to use this. If somebody's gonna blog and they want to use a camcorder and they're gonna be editing video, you gotta get your technique on how to do this kind of thing. You know, it's a whole method. Do you go and just film, and you say, I'm gonna cut here, maybe cut there, maybe let me review it? Be careful at what you say. You're gonna say something, you want to say something that's in chronological order with things, so you can kind of do that. But yeah, it's quite a tool. I gotta use this. It's a lot of fun. I want to make videos that are a little bit better. Raw videos are cool, but I've been doing raw videos for a very long time. Oop, the light's still on. There you go. It's one of those things. Don't turn on. There you go. Raw videos are one of those things where you can make them, but you gotta do things like on the first take or the second take, and everything's gonna happen just the way you want it to be. So they can be nothing but simple. I love to blog. I'll always be out here, and I definitely don't plan to disappear. And you know, if some of my videos really blow, then so what? They blow. There you go. What's the worst that can happen? I don't like your videos, and I think that you can go straight to Canada. No, let's not say Canada. Canada's a good place. You can go to Siberia. No, Siberia's not. You can go straight to hell. There you go, straight to hell. Because hell's not a good place. I don't know. You can do a lot of things, which is really cool. I'm looking to set up an appointment to do a one-to-one session at the Apple store in Burlington at the mall. So I can kind of get started with that. But now that I got some footage on my camcorder, I can slip the SD card, micro SD card into the computer and see what happens. So I might do that at home. There's a few things that I want to order, and there's a few things that I get going for the next part of the week. It's only a 4-day work week, which is cool. And I hadn't predicted this when I made my vacation plans, that the last week of August would be really cool because Labor Day is a day that falls on Monday, which is today. So it really kind of works out that I have this extra day. I like that very much, and maybe I'll try to do that next year when I plan my vacation time. But it's been a good run. I'm not looking forward to go back to work. No, I'm not. I don't want to go back to work. But you have to go to work sometime, and I think it kind of keeps you in check with things so you don't get too lazy. But I thought that I could get more done this week, and I'm very disappointed. I have a few things that also happened that I'm going to probably save for Pillow Talk. I'm going to do a Pillow Talk tonight. Sometimes you need stuff. And when you're a people person, you're a human being, well, there you go with that. I think life is good. I'm glad that I am full-time. I know that I probably couldn't say that enough, but I consider myself to be very fortunate if I can take the measure of discipline to go and set plans to do the things that I need to do, fine. But I'm finding that I'm busier in life. I gotta do things. I gotta do a lot of stuff. And today I'm just driving the wheels off of my car. Driving to the Whole Foods to try to get shots with my camera of the parking lot and the work they're doing there. A lot of renovation, and I also zipped on down the road a little bit to one of my favorite nature places to kind of get a shot of that. Either of those things, just like, you know, it's just crap on film. So I'm finding that I have a lot of work to do with that camera, and I have a lot of work to do ahead. It almost seems like blogging could be an extra job, but I don't know. I like putting myself out there, and I think that's probably part of the whole reason why I like, excuse me, living in eastern Massachusetts. I like living in the Boston area, even if I was just outside of that, fine, but it's just being around a lot of people. A lot of different kinds of people. Being seen and being heard is so important. When I was a kid, you know, like growing up in a small town, being seen and being heard was a whole different thing than what it is now. I mean, there's not many people over there, but to you, what's a big deal is bigger to you than somebody who comes from like a city. You know, a city person is going to say, oh, well, it's quiet out here. Like, you know, it's kind of the difference between New York City and Boston. You know, someone from New York City is, oh, there's something going on. It's like somebody over there could have ADD, and there always has like something going on, and they're addicted to it, you know. Whereas if they go somewhere it's quiet and say, I'm bored, you know, they don't get it. So I've seen people kind of make that move. I love New York City, but if I were to have a garage and have property there, I'd have to probably be very wealthy. I'd either live in New Jersey, or I'd live in the border fringe of Connecticut, somewhere around there. And even so, that would probably still be quite expensive, so I don't kind of see that. The upper parts of New York City out and away from Manhattan, probably better. I don't know those areas very well, but I know they exist. Boston is kind of a mix of things. It's comfortable. It's city, and I've heard people describe it like a big town, but you don't have really the same types of issues that come about in New York City and Los Angeles. I wanted to live in California, yeah, I did, but I don't think that now, looking back on it, it was probably a good place for me to be. It's like being around a lot of crazy showbiz people, do all kinds of crazy stuff, so not bad people, but from seeing what I see on YouTube, it's pretty interesting. I think it's a nice place to relax and chill out a little bit, but there's a whole price and your means of things. You know, you gotta pay your way, and it is expensive, so I'm very glad to be here, and I'm content. I think I'm content. If I find my way in life and find the things that support my needs and live a comfortable life, then that's probably the best I can hope for. You know, I don't see that I would probably much want to go beyond this. It takes away from the simplicity of life, I suppose. But when you're busy, you do stuff, you know. Life goes by, and it goes by faster than you would think. So what you do in the here and now is very, very important. But you have to realize that there always is a tomorrow. There's always a future. So that's kind of the way I live. And that's kind of the way I do things. That's my moment of truth, and I hope you guys liked it. Let me find my stylus that I put in my pocket. No, I didn't. I'll use my finger. But yeah, I'll be back and tell you a little bit about Pillow Talk. Alright, bye for now.